All right, let's just jump right in. Back in 1942, a guy named Albert Camus drops this novel that, honestly, introduces one of the most bizarre and unforgettable characters in all of literature. We're talking about The Stranger, and the man at the center of it all, Meursault, a total outsider even in his own life. And this is how we meet him. The book kicks off with this line, probably one of the most famous opening lines ever written. I mean, wow. It's so blunt, so detached. It's just completely confusing, right? It doesn't say he's sad or relieved or anything. It's like he's just shrugging his shoulders about his own mom. You know, right off the bat, this is not going to be your typical hero.
So, that really sets up the big mystery we're going to tackle here. Just who is this guy Meursault? I mean, is he some kind of monster? Is he just completely emotionless? Or is there something else going on entirely? To even begin to figure that out, we've got to look at how he moves through a world that, frankly, he seems totally disconnected from. And the first place we see this, the biggest piece of evidence society holds against him, is how he reacts when his mother dies. He just doesn't perform the grief, you know? He doesn't act out the part everyone expects him to play. Instead, he kind of just exists through it.
What's so shocking is his brutal honesty. I mean, think about it. Someone asks him a simple question, and he gives a simple, true answer. He doesn't want to see her, so he says no. He just doesn't pretend. And this refusal to tell a little white lie just to make everyone else comfortable, that's at the very core of his character. And as we're going to find out, it ends up being his greatest crime.
So while everyone else is, caught up in the whole ritual of mourning, Meursault is just tuned into what's physically happening right then and there. The lights are too bright, so he gets sleepy. The coffee is nice and warm. He feels like having a cigarette. It's not that he's ignoring that his mother died. It's just that he experiences the world through his body, through his senses, not through these big abstract emotions that society says he's supposed to be feeling.
And look, this isn't just about the funeral. This whole living through the senses thing, that's his entire life. It defines everything from his job to his relationships. He's all about the here and now, what's physically real, what you can actually touch and feel. And this is where you can really see the massive gap between him and, well, everyone else. Society tells you to be ambitious, right? Climb the ladder. From yourself, one life's pretty much as good as another. Society expects you to declare your undying love before you get married. For him, the word love doesn't actually mean anything. And the day after his mother's funeral, he goes for a swim and hooks up with a new girlfriend, Marie. Now, to the outside world, that sounds monstrous, but to him, it's just what he did that day. Simple as that. I mean, this conversation right here is pure 100% Meursault. Marie asks him about this abstract feeling, love, and what does he do? He gives her the most honest, physical answer he possibly can. He can't feel whatever that word is supposed to mean, so he just tells her that. He completely refuses to play the social game, even when you know it would make his life 1,000,000 times easier. Okay, so up to this point, Meursault is just this strange outsider, right? He's just passively watching life go by. But then, one day, on this absolutely scorching hot beach, his quiet, passive life smashes head-on into a moment of pure, shocking violence. And what's crazy is that it's not driven by hate or jealousy or any of the usual reasons. It's driven by the overwhelming force of the physical world itself. The sun on this beach, it's practically its own character. It's this crushing physical force. The light flashes off the Arab's knife, and Meursault feels it like a long, flashing blade cutting at my forehead. His vision is blurred by sweat and sun. His entire body just tenses up, not with anger, but just reacting to the intense, burning heat. And then he squeezes the trigger. And after that first shot, for no logical reason, he fires 4 more times into the body. And just like that, everything changes. This one act is what finally shoves Meursault into a head-on collision with the society he's basically been ignoring his whole life. He's completely destroyed the peace of that day, and now he's going to be judged. But the real question is, judged for what exactly? And that kicks off the whole second half of the book. So Meursault gets arrested, obviously, but it becomes clear almost immediately that he's not really on trial for murder. No, he's on trial for who he is. He's being judged because he didn't cry at his mother's funeral. From the get-go, this is all the court cares about. His own lawyer is just baffled. He literally tells Meursault his behavior is embarrassing and that it's going to be a huge weapon for the prosecution. I mean, can you believe that?
The actual facts of what happened on the beach, they almost seem like an afterthought.
What you get is this completely absurd situation. The prosecution builds their entire case not on the murder, but on his personality. Think about it. He drank coffee, he smoked a cigarette, he went swimming with a woman the next day. And the logic they present is, therefore, he must be a moral monster who is capable of planning a murder in cold blood. The actual shooting is almost irrelevant to their argument. It's wild.
And if you want to see peak absurdity, this is it. The magistrate is literally waving a crucifix in his face, screaming at him because he just cannot wrap his head around Meursault's simple, calm statement that he doesn't believe in God. For the magistrate, this isn't just about a different opinion. He sees it as a personal attack on the meaning of his own life. Meursault just existing, just being himself, is a threat to everyone's entire sense of order.
By the time we get to the trial, Meursault's alienation is just total. He's sitting there, watching the whole thing unfold as if it's a movie about someone else. His entire life is being picked apart, judged and condemned by people who are speaking a language of emotion and meaning that is completely foreign to him.
And you can feel how overwhelming it is for him, this sense of being an intruder. The trial isn't really about justice. It's a social club. It's got its own secret handshakes and inside jokes, and he's not a member. His fate is literally on the line, and yet he feels totally shut out of the whole process.
And this, right here, gets us to the heart of the whole book, the philosophy of absurdism. At its core, it's about the clash between us humans, always looking for meaning in life, and a universe that offers up nothing, no meaning at all. And Meursault, he is the walking embodiment of that conflict. He lives in a world where everyone is pretending there's some grand meaning in love, in work, in grief, and he just refuses to play along. And that's why society has to crush him, because his honesty points to a terrifying idea. What if the universe is just as indifferent as he is, and all our little rules are just a game to keep us from realizing it? And then, in this really rare moment, he actually feels something, an urge to cry. But it's not from guilt. It's not remorse for the murder. It's a deep, almost physical feeling of how much everyone in that room hates him. They don't hate him for what he did. They hate him for who he is, a complete and total stranger to their world. So that's what we're left with, this really haunting question. Yes, he shot a man. That's a fact. No one's debating that. But was he really sentenced to death for pulling a trigger? Or was he condemned because he refused to lie? Because he wouldn't cry when he was supposed to? Because he refused to pretend that life has any meaning beyond what you can physically feel, like the sun on your skin and the salt from the sea on your lips?